It's been a long road to get to Spider-Man No Way Home. With so many leaks and things out there, all the interviews always focused on the elements that we knew were happening in the film that leaked, but the actors could not outright confirm them. Tom Holland says that this really got to him, and he was sick and is sick of lying to everybody. So this comes at us from a recent interview with Yahoo Entertainment UK, where Tom Holland was asked about all the secrecy in regards to all the Marvel Studios projects and everything Spider-Man related, not just Spider-Man No Way Home, for example. And he says that as he sees it, it's one of those things that starts to get to you because constantly you're trying to deceive people. You're constantly lying to everybody. You are constantly trying to subvert expectations. You are constantly knowing that you're not telling the truth, but you have to make it seem like that it is the honest truth and that you don't know anything and that this is how it's happening and that this has sort of just become the new norm. And he talks about all the secrets he has to keep because he thinks at some point it gets to this point where you almost start to believe them yourself despite of what's happening. And you have to do the PR thing because of the fans. But then he says, the fans start figuring stuff out and they know stuff. And they know stuff sometimes for a while. And you just have to pretend like it's not true and try to pretend like they're crazy or insane or something like that. And he feels like that this is starting to weigh on him because, well, obviously he's constantly lying and he's been doing it for the better part of more than half a decade now. And you gotta sympathize with this. I get it. I get why he does it because it's in his contract and he has to, and you have to keep those surprises. And being in the MCU means you're in the biggest franchise in the world. Everybody wants to know something, and if you slip up, you could potentially, reveal major parts of things, major parts of everything, and it could really hurt the end product. But you also have to understand that this is just something that they train them to do, and they almost become so convinced of it that you can't really separate the lie and the truth or anything, and they start to convince themselves that this is good, right? And again, Hollywood is this interesting, bizarre place where it's built on lies and deception and people stepping on one another. So you can start to understand combining this with what he's previously said about how maybe he wants to step away from this and how he saw what happens with Uncharted and that film made him realize what Hollywood really is. It's just a machine. Even if you're passionate about it, you start becoming another cog in the machine and the passion quickly goes away. And this is something, and this follows the same pattern that Andrew Garfield had when it came to The Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, you could literally take this and look at the old Andrew Garfield interviews and the pattern, and it's the same thing. He jumped into this at a very young age, and yes, it's a tremendous opportunity and an honor, but at some point, you realize that all it is a lie, and you're now a part of the bigger lie. So it starts to wear on you, so I appreciate his honesty, quite honestly.